I am so excited! So Disney just announced how they're going to be doing the reservation system and the dates for when we can make these reservations.
These dates are for Walt Disney World right now, not Disneyland.
But hopefully it kind of applies because it's only like a 6-day difference from when the park's open.
And we know that they're using the same system, we just don't know the exact dates for Disneyland, but we know the exact dates for Disney World.
Here we go.
Hey Insiders! We are so excited for this brand new announcement from Walt Disney World. Like, this is so exciting.
I'm so excited.
So the announcements here definitely are for Walt Disney World.
Definitely.
But the parks are very similar, and so we can come to expect some of this information for Disneyland coming in the next few days.
Yes, and we know that they're using the exact same reservation system, so when we get into the details on how to use that reservation system, you're definitely going to want to be listening. We promise you that as soon as we know when Disneyland dates are open, that we'll be doing a video, so make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. Why, Kara?
Because we're going to have all the best Disney updates up as soon as we can.
So make sure to subscribe.
So the first lucky set of people that will be able to make reservations for Walt Disney World is starting June 22nd if you have an existing hotel reservation and have already purchased your ticket.
Now, of course, you have to make your reservation within your stay at the hotel. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you can't just, like, have that reservation and make one way before your actual date.
Or after.
But anyways, I know. But anyways, that's the deal with June 22nd. Now, if you do have an annual pass, but you don't have a hotel reservation, you're still able to make a reservation. Don't worry. Now, for Disney World, your date will be June 26th. That is when an annual pass holder can make a reservation to get into one of the parks, but we'll get into more detail on that in a little bit.
And if you have just a park ticket that's pre-existing but not an annual pass, you'll still be able to make a reservation on June 28th. So you can see they're all like pretty evenly spaced out.
Yes. It's pretty tight. They're obviously got to give priority to hotel guests, but they're really doing a good job kind of spacing it out so that everybody gets a chance to go. Fingers crossed something like this is just as in store for the Disneyland Resort. Like we said, this is all Florida, but we can hope for the same.
And at this time, Disney is still not selling tickets, so if you don't have a pre-existing ticket or annual pass, you're kind of out of luck for right now, but they will be announcing more information on that later, so when you can actually have new tickets available to get into the park.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Pause!
At this time, everything is paused. So no new tickets, no AP renewals, no new AP holders, and no hotel reservations.
It's pretty much only for people who already have their reservations and passes and set travel plans to go to the Disney parks. Everything else is kind of on pause right now, but they did say that they will be unpausing it as soon as they possibly can.
There is a possibility for this happening later this summer, people are saying?
Yeah.
Yes. Now it is very likely that they get unpaused soon. Right now this reservation system is looking to be in place until September 26, 2021.
Yes, that is quite a long time, but Disney said that they're going to be doing their best, trying to make sure that everyone has the most magical experience possible.
And of course, you have to make your reservations prior to your arrival at the park.
Right now, at least at the beginning, we're not going to be able to park hop because they need to know how many people are in each park, and so when you make the reservation you have to select what park you're going to be in, and that applies for both Disneyland and Disney World.
And you're going to have to make these reservations prior to your park arrival.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to decide in advance what park you want to be in.
Right, it's not going to be like same day. It can be like, hey, I want to go to Animal Kingdom after this, and obviously that's not going to work, and there will be no kiosks on property that you're there to make a reservation.
Exactly. So obviously they're trying to keep people as far away from each other as possible, so like actually going to Disneyland and buying tickets, etc., that probably won't be in place when the park reopens.
Yes.
No walk-ins welcome.
Yeah, no, so that's why you have to do reservations in advance. It's really about contact, more important than anything else. Yeah, so unfortunately there will be no park hopping at this time, and they'll also be doing temperature checks to make sure that nobody enters with a fever.
It's pretty good. It'll be contactless, but I believe if you're over a certain temperature, you will not be allowed to go on property.
Also, if you're showing any other flu symptoms, you may not be allowed in.
Right. They've been kind of unspecific about what the temperature is and what symptoms, but they are in place at this time.
Yes.
Speaking of, the whole kind of turned away like a bag check system, the bag check system is going to be very cool and completely contactless.
Completely different than in the past.
Exactly. So they say it's going to be very fast but contact-free.
Exactly. So we all know that when you get your bag checked at Disneyland or one of the Disney parks, that they have somebody there that digs through your bags, looks through it, and then lets you through. But obviously, they can't have one guy touching everyone's bag, and they don't want that interaction. So they made a contactless bag check, and they also said that they might limit the kinds of bags you're allowed to have into the park at this time.
Their goal here is to only be checking smaller bags at first, so they don't want you walking in with your like massive backpack or something.
Yeah, we might have to just carry our camera in and not put it in our bag.
So we're probably all gonna have to rely on fanny packs and Disney lounge flies.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And of course, they've been enforcing the mask policy very heavily at Disneyland and the Disney
strict.
resorts. So you have to be wearing it at all times, 2 years old and older. And they will have like eating areas and mask rest areas where you don't have to wear your mask.
But they're very isolated.
Yes, and very social distance.
And for the most part, you're just gonna be wearing your mask all day.
As well as that, they're also going to be having social distance squares that they're going to be very strict on enforcing. So be sure to pay attention to those when you're there.
Some of them say, please stand here. Some of them say, please don't stand here. But it's all there to make sure that you're maintaining your 6 feet of distance.
Exactly. Oh, and also, no fast passes.
It's really sad, but if you think about it, all the systems that they've put in place to enter the park have taken up a lot of their bandwidth, so making the fast pass itself, that is completely canceled.
And at 30% capacity, they don't really expect you to need a fast pass to begin with.
Yeah.
And they're going to be doing virtual queuing, which is going to be using that fast pass system in the first place. But for the near future,
no fast passes.
Exactly.
So from everything, to the temperature checks, to the bag checks, to the social distance squares, to the masks, expect them to be pretty strict on this.
No, wait 1 second. How did you get over there?
Somewhere.
Whatever. Anyway, back to our Disney update.
So something that is unfortunately not going to be the same for quite a while is restaurants and nighttime spectaculars.
Exactly. So anytime that they have like a large group of people gathering to see like one fireworks show or eat in one restaurant, they really worked really hard to change that. And it may never be the same, but only because they're incorporating a new system that is probably going to be there for the rest of Disney history.
Yeah, they're going to be doing a redesign of how things are laid out. So they'll basically be doing a complete redesign of all nighttime spectaculars and restaurants.
Exactly. I'm excited to see what Disney has in store because they're really, really good at this.
Yes,
they are.
Really,
they're very good.
They work so hard. I mean, they've come through so many challenges. Fingers crossed that it all works out super well.
Yes, I'm sure they're going to do a great job. So, back to dates. Now, these are still Disney World specific dates.
Yes.
Don't forget that. But Disneyland opens only 6 days later, so we really expect them to be very close.
They're
They should be
rumored
similar.
to be very similar.
Exactly. The one thing that we do know is that they're going to all be using the same reservation system because it's the Disney Parks reservation system.
Yeah,
It's not Disneyland or Disney World.
It'd be too complicated to have 2 different reservation systems.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
So here is the how to make the reservation system.
Think about the way that Rise of the Resistance works, kind of, where you like select your people and then you pick it. It should work something like that.
Yeah, and
that works super well too.
And we will of course be doing in a later episode an expert tip going through every step exactly to make sure that you guys can get your reservation. But we just wanted to give you a quick overview so that you know what to expect in this episode.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have the app on your phone and all the tickets in your party linked to your app.
Of course, I mean that seems pretty basic, but it's highly important.
Yes. After you've made sure that all of your tickets are linked, you're going to create your party for that day, and you're going to select the people that you want to be in the reservation.
Exactly. Once you've selected your people, then you're going to want to select the dates that you want to go to the park and which park within Disneyland or Disney World that you want to go to. For example, DCA instead of Disneyland or Animal Kingdom instead of Epcot. Step 4,
Review and confirm.
Exactly.
You definitely don't want any errors because, reservations are going to be hard to come by, so please review and confirm so that you know
Highly
what you're gonna get
important.
to.
Like, if you expect to be going to Epcot and you accidentally hit Animal Kingdom,
You're
It's gonna
stuck
be
in Animal
pretty tough.
Kingdom.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Disney does an amazing job when they do these redesigns and they really have the long-term goal in place. Speaking of which, all of these dates and everything is still Disney World specific at the moment.
Yes.
but as they're opening very close together, they're probably going to be having very similar reservations.
Exactly. I mean, why would they design 2 different systems for the 2 parks? I mean,
It's just the Disney Park system.
It just
Exactly.
doesn't make sense.
So just a quick recap, starting June 22nd, if you have a hotel reservation and pre-existing tickets, you can make a reservation.
Yes, and on June 26th, if you have an annual pass, you can make a reservation.
And on June 28th, if you have a pre-existing park ticket, you can make a reservation. Also on June 28th.
Although wait, remember, that is still just Disney World right now, not Disneyland. Disneyland is going to have different dates, but we will keep you updated, don't worry.
But there will also be another thing on June 28th. If you want to buy a hotel and ticket package for 2021, you will be able to.
Yes. But this is only packages, so you would have to buy the room and the tickets at the same time.
Exactly. So they kind of have switched to a package system at the moment. This system is expected to go on until September 26, 2021.
Yes.
If things get better, it won't.
Obviously,
if things get worse, it'll go longer. But it seems to be that date right now.
Fingers crossed, and stay safe, everybody.
Yes.
Also, most of the after-hours events in Disney World have been canceled for 2020.
Exactly.
Yes,
like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in Walt Disney
know.
World.
I know.
That one was just canceled. And the Star Wars night.
Yes, that
The
was
one
in
at
Anaheim.
Disneyland.
Star Wars Celebration was moved to 2022, so technically so was Star Wars Night.
Really, they're canceling most of the after-hours events. We don't know about all of them yet. Some of them have still not been announced, but it's looking like most of them at the moment.
So the good news is Disney is opening.
I know, we are so excited. Oh yeah.
I mean, like, this is seriously
I am
awesome.
so
I'm so
excited.
excited.
Wait,
What happened?
I don't know. That was weird.
Anyway.
Aside from all the reservation stuff, July 11th and July 17th are the opening days for Disney World and the Disneyland Resort. This is an exciting time.
Yes, because the parks are reopening, and yes, there's going to be modifications, and yes, it's going to be tough, but
We
get
get
to be
Disneyland
back.
back.
Yes!
So what are your guys' thoughts on this? Are you thinking it's too late to open or too early to open?
Do you not like the reservations, or do you like the reservations?
Or are you just like me, and you just trust Disney, and you know that they're going to do their best to make this a magical experience for all of us.
It's
Let us know
gonna
in
be
the
great.
comments.
Thanks, Insiders.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next Disney update.
See ya.
Bye!